Hi students, welcome back to Smarter Everyday Over Learning. Dear students, in this session, today we are going to learn about fission of covalent bond from the chapter Organic Chemistry, some basic principles and techniques from grade 11 NCERT. Right, in this fission of a covalent bond, we have again two types. Those are homolytic, nothing but symmetrical fission, and heterolytic symmetrical fission. First of all, we have to know about the first type, homolytic. Okay, if a covalent bond in between the carbon atoms, nothing but covalent bond formation, here is a bond, and for suppose if a covalent bond breaks in such a way that each atom takes away one electron of the shared pair. This is the shared pair. It is called as homolytic or symmetrical fission. Okay, I'll tell you once again. If a covalent bond breaks in such a way that each atom takes away one electron of the shared pair, it is known as homolytic fission. Okay, it is also called as symmetrical fission, and this homolytic fission is usually indicated by fish arrow. That is nothing but just like this, fish arrow. This is called as, okay students, fish arrow, and which denotes a one electron displacement. Okay, this fish arrow indicates one electron displacement. Now let's see the example here. For suppose a covalent bond takes place in between atom A and atom B. Here these are the pair of electrons, and from this, with the help of this arrow, fish arrow, this is called as like this, and this is only homolytic fission. Homolytic fission. From this, here is one radical and here is one radical. So these are the free radicals. Okay, free radicals should be formed. So by seeing this example, you came to know that covalent bond breaks that each atom takes away one electron of shared pair. Okay, this is the shared pair. Now free radical should be formed. Now students, the neutral chemical species such as A and B, which contain an odd or unpaired electrons, and which are produced by homolytic fission of covalent bonds, are called free radicals. Homolytic fission usually occurs in non-polar, you know very well, which are not having the positive and negative charges. That means positive ion and negative ion, non-polar compounds, and is favored by high temperature and ultraviolet radiations, nothing but UV radiations, and by the presence of radical initiators such as peroxides. This is about homolytic symmetrical fission. Now let's see the second one, heterolytic or unsymmetrical fission. For suppose when a covalent bond joining two atoms just like A and B, when a covalent bond joining these two atoms breaks in such a way that both electrons of the covalent bond, that is shared pair of electrons, are taken away by one of the bonded atoms, the mode of bond cleavage is called heterolytic fission. Heterolytic fission is usually indicated by a curved arrow which denotes a two electron displacements. 2 electron displacement. So this is the arrow. This is known as curved arrow. Curved, right? And for example, if you see the atoms of A and B, these are the atoms, and here the shared pair of electrons you can see here in between these two atoms, shared pair of electrons. Okay, and you can denote with this curved arrow. Then you can say that 2 electron displacement can be takes place from these atoms. Now students, these 2 electrons can be displaced, then A plus and B minus ions can be formed. These are the 2 electrons. This is only heterolytic fission. Okay, and here in this equation, when B is more electronegative than A, here only B is more electronegative than A. In that case only this possibility takes place. And let's see next example. For suppose in case of these 2 atoms, here is the pair of electrons, shared pair of electrons. If the transfer of electrons, if the displacement of these electrons could be done in this way, this is also heterolytic fission. Heterolytic. Now A minus, here anion formation could be done, and here is the cation formation. In this case, A is more negative than B. Okay, as shown above, heterolytic fission results in the formation of charged species, that is cations. As I told you, cations and anions. Okay students, it is usually occurs in polar covalent bonds and is favored by polar solvents. Students, actually, what about polar and non-polar compounds? Previously I have done a video on that special topic. Okay, you can go through one's description. In that is there the complete information. What about polar compounds and non-polar and polar covalent bond also. If you have any doubt in this polar and non-polar, you can once check the classes, previous classes, then you can understand it very easily. Okay students, this is about fission of covalent bond, homolytic and heterolytic. Homolytic nothing but symmetrical fission, and heterolytic nothing but unsymmetrical fission. So these are the examples. Okay, now let's see about electrophiles and nucleophiles. Now you came to know about electrophiles. These electrophiles are electron loving chemical species. Okay, and their attraction for electrons is due to the presence of an electron deficient atom in them. For suppose in any chemical compound there is a presence of electron deficiency is there, and those only electron loving chemical species. Why? Because they always need to attract one electron from the any other species. Okay, electrophiles may be either positively charged or electrically neutral. So positively charged and electrically neutral chemical species. For suppose in that first type is positive electrophiles. Let's see, positive electrophiles are free radicals. These are also called as free radicals. Here just examples I'm going to write here. H plus ions, H3O hydronium ions, Cl plus, Br plus ions, I plus, NO2 plus, NO plus, R plus. These are carbocations. These are all known as carbocations. And neutral electrophiles. Let's see the examples of neutral electrophiles. These are also free radicals. For suppose Cr2. This is for carbenes. And Nr. This is for nitrines. NR nitrines, like that only, SO3, BF3, AlCl3, aluminium trichloride, and FeCl3, SnCl4. Since both positively charged and neutral electrophiles are short by pair of electrons nothing but free radicals, are however short by only one electron. They have strong tendency to attract electrons from other sources and hence behave as Lewis acids. These are behaving as Lewis acids. Electrophiles always attack the substrate molecule at the site of highest electron density. You have to remember this point. All the electrophiles always attack the substrate. Substrate you know very well, just like reactants. What is the organic molecule which is going to participate in the chemical reaction? So electrophile always attack the substrate molecule at the site of highest electron density. This is about electrophiles. Now let's see about nucleophiles. Nucleophiles are nucleus-loving chemical species. Since the nucleus of any atom, so middle of the atom, there must be a presence of nucleus, which is denoted with the letter capital N, and the nucleus of any atom is positively charged. Why? Because inside the nucleus, you know very well, there is a presence of protons and neutrons. Around the nucleus, in specific orbits only, electrons, the presence of electrons takes place. So electrons are having negative charge and protons are having positive charge. Due to these protons, nucleus should get the positive charge. That's why due to this nucleus charge, entire atom should get positively charged. So atoms are positively charged particles. Therefore, nucleophiles must be electron-rich chemical species containing at least one lone pair of electrons. One lone pair, LP, nothing but these electrons should not involving in that bond formation. So these are called as lone pair of electrons. They may be either negatively charged or these are also neutral. Now we have negative nucleophiles and neutral nucleophiles. In this first type, negative nucleophiles, here most probably H minus, nothing but hydride ions, and some more examples. Let's see: Cl minus, Br minus, I minus, R minus, nothing but carbon ion, and OH minus, OR minus, Sr minus, NH2 minus, Cn minus, and RCOO minus, etc. These are the examples of negative nucleophiles. Now let's see about neutral nucleophiles. Here I am going to write the examples. H2O molecule, which are having the lone pair of electrons like this, and NH3. Here are the lone pair of electrons, and RNH2. Upon the nitrogen, lone pair of electrons, and ROH. Here, lone pair of electrons. RSH on the sulfur, lone pair of electrons, and ROR on this oxygen, also lone pair of electrons, like this. These are the examples of neutral nucleophiles. Since both the negatively charged and neutral nucleophiles contain at least one unshared pair of electrons, they have a strong tendency to donate this electron pair of electrons to electron deficient species. These unshared pair of electrons can be donated, the pair of electrons, to electron deficient species and hence behave as, these are Lewis bases. Lewis bases. Nucleophiles always attack the substrate molecule. These are attacking the substrate molecule at the site of lowest electron density. Lowest electron density. So this is about nucleophiles, types of nucleophiles, negative and neutral nucleophiles. And here I discussed with you about electrophiles completely. Here also two types are there, and here in this type of electrophiles we have positive and neutral also. So these are acting as Lewis acids, as I told you, Lewis acids. And coming to fission of a covalent bond, what we have started at the beginning, fission of a covalent bond also two types I have explained to you: homolytic, nothing but symmetrical fission, and heterolytic, nothing but unsymmetrical fission. Okay students, this is about our today's session. If you understand this class, you can share to your friends, and if you have any doubt you can convey in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel for my further updates. Thanks for watching.